Hey, Halo here. I'm really excited to give you guys a bunch of new updates regarding Halo Infinite and the future that we have in store. For starters, we have one of our biggest updates coming up this week. Oh, no! Oh, no! When Halo Infinite initially released, it was in an incredibly advantageous position, and it had the potential to become one of the biggest launches ever. Its multiplayer was free to play on both Xbox and PC, its competition was super weak with one of the worst performing Call of Duties of all time, and a buggy mess that was Battlefield 2047. And to top it all off, it was genuinely fun. So with a position like this, it would be pretty hard to mess this all up, right? Right? Well, they did. They dropped the ball and dropped it hard on this one. Halo Infinite has been out for almost 3 months, and there are still so many problems, ranging from minor stuff like cosmetics clipping to big issues like desync. Every time 343 updates the game, it's barely an actual update. We might get an event with cosmetics in it, which is cool, but they haven't really fixed any of the major problems. And there have been no substantial updates that would actually improve the gameplay experience. There aren't enough game modes and no forge, so the gameplay loop has gotten stale quickly. The entire shop has been a mess since day one, including the battle pass. The customization features are lackluster at best and offensive at worst. We've been stuck playing 10 maps, 3 big team battle maps, and 7 regular maps, 2 of which aren't even used in ranked because one of them is too big and the other just sucks so hard. So there are actually 5 competitively viable maps. Just 5. I know some people don't care for ranked, but I know 343 does because they're really pushing the HCS. And I know a large portion of the player base really does care about ranked and wants more variety. We just want more updates, more maps, more things soon. But there's no roadmap or idea of what we should be expecting. And even if they give us that, who's to say they won't delay it again and again? I can go on and on about all the various issues that are plaguing this game, but I don't want to just make this a video ranting about the game's problems. Those of us that love the game and want it to thrive, we understand what's wrong. So instead, I'm here to propose some solutions and goals that should be hit as soon as possible to ensure that this game doesn't die a slow and painful death, and instead rises through the ashes as a wholly complete experience. So 343, if you're still watching, please hear me out, as all of this is coming from someone who plays this game a lot, has also hit high onyx on both mouse and controller, and loves this game with a passion. Trust me, I want it to succeed too. So 343, hear me out. Add more maps more consistently. I wouldn't recommend dropping 5 maps at once, as it would drastically change the ranked and competitive experience, as learning a whole new map takes time, and honestly you can also spread out the hype by doing this, but I think adding 1 new map every 2 months could work. The first map being a competitively viable map, and then the next map being a big team battle or non-competitive map. This would give the competitive scene 3 extra maps a year to work with, and it would give everybody 6 whole new maps in total every year. That would mean that by the end of this year, we would have at least 16 total maps. Then, once Forge is released, you can slow down the rate in which you release maps to 3 to 4 month gaps in the following year, since now you can include some of the best Forged maps from the community, or even Forged maps that you, the developer, has made. This would also mean that eventually the ability to vote for maps should make a return, since there will be more maps to work with. Oh yeah, which reminds me. Release Forge, but don't release it as a buggy mess. Really test Forge out. If you need to, invite players or content creators to test a beta version of it to really iron out the kinks. Then release it when it's actually ready. Forge can single-handedly save this game, but it needs to be released and hyped up when it's a version that will impress even the biggest Halo haters out there. Around the same time, 343 should add new weapons to the sandbox, maybe some returning favorites or completely new ones, just to change it up a bit. Essentially, the Forge that you guys released in Halo 5 was near perfect. So just upgrade that and bring it to Halo Infinite. Fan favorite game types like Infection and King of the Hill should make a return in some capacity, with King of the Hill being added to the ranked playlists. New game modes should also be added in, or at the very least, we should have more tools to create our own game modes like Gun Game from Call of Duty or Takedown from Splitgate. Which reminds me, please also update the custom games feature to give us just more creative control. I would love to play custom games, but right now you can't really change a lot of what you can do in the game. 343 needs to add variety to their ranked playlist. Team doubles would be a welcome addition, since most people usually only only have one person to play with regularly, and ranked free-for-all, aka lone wolves, wouldn't hurt either. So people who just want to play alone can have fun as well. While we're still talking about ranked, we need to add basic features into matchmaking. For starters, we need to be able to reconnect to games where we DC. It's a feature that exists in basically every game today. The game also needs to work on its consistency and desync problems, which partially stem from poor connection, but even LAN tournaments like the HCS had issues, which means its problem is in the game itself and not just lag. This may be the hardest thing to pinpoint and fix, but I don't feel like other shooters have this latency and desync problem. I also hate to be that guy, but a battle royale wouldn't hurt. Hear me out, I do think Halo can thrive without it, but I also think it can only benefit from its existence. Even temporarily, just to generate some hype and press. This isn't a priority by any means, but this could come down the pipeline like a year from now, and it could help bring new players to the game. So I do think that 343 should not ignore this as an option. Let's talk about cosmetics and the progression system. There is no progression system, unless you get the battle pass, and that itself lacks a lot of content, most of it being just challenge swaps and XP boosts. Thankfully, they have addressed the battle passes and expressed that the future ones won't be this bad, so my issues aren't necessarily with the battle pass. It's after you finish the battle pass, because once you're done, there is no longer any progression system, which wouldn't be the end of the world, but this season is 6 months long. Everybody that I know that plays this game has finished the battle pass a month ago. So what I think they should do is add a level system, similar to Overwatch. This could actually solve 2 issues at once. Every time you level up, you earn, let's say, 20 credits. That means after 5 levels, you'll have 100 credits. After 100 levels, you'll have 2,000 credits. It's not much, but it would encourage people to do daily challenges or just play daily. Then the store should also add more daily and weekly cosmetics to sell. The people who don't want to spend money will save all of their hard-earned credits for their favorite helmet or their favorite color, while cash cows, like me, will buy stuff regardless. It's a simple way to keep players engaged without being too generous, and simultaneously you come off less greedy because you're giving away free money. I think 343 would still make a ton of money doing this, and this would please Papa Microsoft. But on top of that, 343, you need to stop selling colors that are exclusive to one armor set. The simplest solution is to eliminate armor sets completely and allow true customization with mixing and matching. I feel like this would see immediate positive results for both players and the company. Players will feel free to truly express themselves and will most likely buy more cosmetics, since the armor that they buy can be worn with anything, and since they're buying more cosmetics, Microsoft, you're making more money. One of the main reasons why 343 does not do this is because they're worried about armor clipping, but I mean, Exhibit A over here. You need to give controller players the option to toggle mute or push to talk. At the moment, there isn't a way to do it without creating a mouse and keyboard binding through the Steam controller thing, and if that sounded complicated, it's because it is. It's dumb. This game is made for controller. I even bought a SCUF one just to play this game at the highest level, but I don't want to stream it because I can't read chat during ranked matches, because I can't mute myself, so my teammates would hear me saying whatever I'm saying to chat. I could simply just not talk to my random teammates, but I don't want to be a jerk, so I think more social features need to be included, like being able to talk to the enemy team before or after the match, and make it easier to queue up with random teammates that you like so you can keep playing with them. These social features are sorely missed from Halo and are part of the reason people had so much fun making custom games. I made so many friends just playing Halo 3's ranked. We would queue back up together, we'd rank up, and then later I would invite them to play Infection with me in custom games, and it was a blast. The easiest way to organically get people to come back to this game is letting them make friends. And look, I don't want to keep comparing this game to Halo 3 because I don't want this game to just be a carbon copy of Halo 3. A lot of people complain about the movement, the sliding, the mantling, all that kind of stuff, and say that that's the issue in Halo, and I disagree. I think the actual gameplay is phenomenal, but it's hard not to look back at Halo 3 and see some of these features that existed in a game in 2007 not exist in a game in 2022, especially because it's the same franchise. This wouldn't even be copying someone else's homework. It's your own homework. Inside Halo Infinite lies a phenomenal game, but it's being held back by all its issues surrounding it. It's like a diamond in a big pile of poop. Once that poop is cleaned, we got a diamond here. Kind of a weird analogy, but you get what I mean. My main concern is that the speed at which 343 is addressing these issues is alarming. The player base is dropping consistently, and the hype around the game is going away. And I know that their Halo Championship Series streams had over 100,000 viewers, but they also had free Twitch drops for watching, so we can't look at those numbers without understanding that it's skewed. But I know a lot of people are like me who absolutely love this game and want it to succeed. And I know plenty of people that would come back to Halo Infinite if a lot of these issues are addressed. But we need real updates and fast, or we might see Halo Infinite become the end of the Halo franchise.